Here we go, 36, 697, take 6.
And cut.
Hey guys, Happy New Year! 2021 is here, and welcome to the premiere episode of The Collector's Corner. I'm your host, Keanu Reeves, and for the next 7 hours, I'm going to be reading scripts from every single movie I've ever been in.
No, I can't do that. I won't.
Yeah, maybe you're right, we won't do that, but we will be discussing my favorite topic movies, especially my movie collection, and all the things that you're going to see on this show. Now, on each episode of Collector's Corner, I'm going to be talking about some new movies that I've added to my collection. Some are old titles, some are new titles. I'm also going to be breaking down some release dates of Blu-rays and DVDs that are coming out soon. Plus, I'll talk about movies I've just seen that I don't even have in my collection yet. Now, before we get started on those topics, I just want to kind of rewind a little bit and give you a little backstory on my personal collection. Now, currently in my collection, I actually own 593 movies. Now, to some people, that might seem like a lot, but to other people, that's nothing, chump change. But it's still growing. It's taken me many years to really grow this collection, and it's going to keep on growing. Who knows when it's going to stop? Maybe when they decide to stop making movies, which I don't think ever is going to happen. Now, usually a lot of people that know me and know my collection always ask, how do you keep track of all the movies that you have? Very simple. I use IMDb. IMDb is basically the internet movie database that I use to keep track of every single movie I ever had, ever owned, or whatever, and I actually keep them categorized. So basically, I have everything from my main list, which is my personal movie collection list. I also break it down to, franchises, TV shows, biopics, just a little bit. I mean, you can pretty much make up your own list. If you haven't done it yet, I would strongly suggest, as a movie from one movie collector to another, definitely use IMDb. It's free, don't have to pay for it, and you can add titles, and it helps especially when you go to the stores, like say you're going to Walmart, or even if you're ordering online and you see a movie and you can't remember if you have it or not. IMDb is the perfect place because you can basically just scroll through and see everything you have, and you can actually checklist it. How they have a watch list. You can do it however you want. I actually don't use a watch list feature. I just make my own list and pretty much tweak it my own way. But that's exactly how I keep track of all these movies I have, or otherwise I would be lost. And trust me, there's been many times I've been in the store and I almost bought something that I realized I had. Now, I've met a lot of fellow collectors, and I've also, read about some movie collectors online. And one of the things I've noticed, I broke it down that there are two types of collectors. There are real collectors, and there are not so real collectors. I consider myself a real collector. For those who don't understand, let me break it down. First, let me explain the not so real collectors. Let's get the negatives first before we jump into the positive. So the not so real collectors are the ones who, let's say, I don't know, they have, we'll say 5,000, we'll just shoot it out a number. They have 5,000 movies in their collection. So you think, oh, wow, they got a lot of movies. But it's the breakdown of the movies they have. Let's say they have, we'll pick The Shining, classic movie, Jack Nicholson. Okay, so they'll say they have The Shining, but they have it on every single format there has ever been invented movies, which means they have it on VHS. I know that's old school for some of you kids, but they have it on VHS. They have it on DVD. They have it on Blu-ray. They even have the old school laser disc, which I never had. Those were really expensive back in the day. And I've even heard there's like a 3D thing that is come and gone. They don't even make it anymore. So they basically have 5 versions of the one movie, and they count those 5 as part of that 5,000. So that when you start doing that, you're a not so real collector. You're basically just have many versions of one film, and you count those numbers as part of your collection. So that does not count. You're a not so real collector. Also, you have another thing that categorizes the not so real collectors is the ones who get the bargain basement movies as like a pack or whatever, and some movies they make out of a whole pack. Usually you find these places where there's like, sometimes it could be a swap meet, a garage sale, it could be anything, and they get all these movies, and let's say if they buy like 10 of them for a great deal, out of the 10 of them there's only 2 that they like, but it came as a pack of 10, and they'll count those movies that they have, and they don't even like the movies. They wouldn't owner, if they knew what the movie was, or if they know what the movie was and they know the movie sucked, they would still keep it and just get stuff. And a lot of times they'll get new movies, like shrink wrap. But sometimes if you go to places like GameStop or wherever places you have out here, we have a place called Zia Records where you can get a whole bunch of movies and stuff like that. But any place that sells a bulk of movies, like used movies or whatever, even when they're shrink wrap, I've seen collectors that have movies that are still in the shrink wrap. They don't even crack it open. You're not so real collector. You're basically just a hoarder now of movies. And some of the stuff you don't even realize you have, because there are all those. I've seen collectors that have just gotten a bulk of movies, and they have them sitting in a corner or in a closet somewhere, and they don't even realize what they have. And sometimes some of those movies may actually be great movies, and some of them are just like not even a Siskel and Ebert would have back in their day would have reviewed it. They would have given it a thumbs down. But these people keep it in there. So all those factors are add up to what I call a not so real collector. You're basically just a hoarder of movies. You don't even know what you have, and then you're collecting various, versions of the same movie, various formats. So you're a not so real collector. Me, I like to consider myself a real collector. And now I finished the negative, let me break down the positive. A real collector, like moi, is one who basically knows every single title of the movies they have, and they get the movies that they personally enjoy, that they would watch over and over and over again. And they don't count the various versions. Like, of course, the norm now, especially when you get Blu-rays, there's a lot of Blu-rays that you get the Blu-ray, you get the DVD with it, and you get the digital copy or whatever. When I get a Blu-ray, I count it as the Blu-ray. I do not count the DVD. I don't even take the DVD out. It just stays in there. I can sell those to somebody if I wanted to. The digital versions, I don't even use the digital versions. A lot of people have those Voodoo accounts, or sometimes at Disney or whatever, it's stuff like that, and they have the digital thing, which is fine, but I just don't find a use for them. I've never used them. So whenever I get one of those movies that are Blu-ray and DVD combo, I count it as a Blu-ray. I don't count it as a DVD because I don't even touch it. I really don't. And the only time I'll ever take out that DVD is if my girl wants to watch it on her laptop, and then my laptop can only play DVDs. So there you go. There's your DVD. But other than that, I don't count it as that. And a lot of times I upgrade my collection too, because sometimes I'll have something that's, let's say, on DVD, and then I found out, maybe sometimes it's years later, that same movie has now been re-released, and they have more bonus features. I'm a big bonus feature guy. I love getting the kind of movies where it's like a 2-disc special edition director's cut, never before seen in theaters, 8 hours extra, or whatever it is. I'm all about that. I'm all about the making of the movie, the science of the movie. I like watching all that stuff. So if there's a version like that of a common DVD version I have movies, then I upgrade. I buy the Blu-ray that has all the bells and whistles, and then I sell my DVD to, like, one of those outlets that buys movies or whatever. I don't keep it. I don't say I have the DVD, I have the Blu-ray of this same movie, that, because I'm not trying to fall into the not so real collector realm. I'm a real collector. So that's one of the things that I do. And as I said, every movie I have, I watch, because the one common question I always get is, do you even watch all the movies you have? Because as I said, I have 593 movies, and the answer is yes. Every year, and no particular order, I do watch pretty much everything I have. And you figure, okay, I have over 500. There's only 365 days in a year. So how do I do it? I watch movies a lot whenever I'm home, spare time. If I'm not gaming or anything, yeah, I can watch anywhere from 2 to 3 movies a day, and it's sporadic. It's my mind works as a jukebox. I don't say, okay, today I'm going to watch this and tomorrow I'm going to watch that. No, my mind works as a jukebox. It's whatever I'm in the mood for. And sometimes there'll be a movie that in my collection I will watch maybe once or twice for the entire year, but I count it as watch. I mean, I don't have any list. I'm not that anal where I have a list saying today on March 4th, 2021, I watched so and so, and I don't have to watch again until next year. I don't do it like that. If there's people out there like that, I feel very sad for you. I like to have fun. Movies are meant to be entertaining. Watch it whenever you feel like it. And I know, especially now, you know, 2020 was a rough year. We've all gone through the pandemic thing or whatever, and streaming has been on the rise. And I've watched a lot of stuff, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But as you can see, I like to have the physical discs. There's some people you go into their house and they have a library of books, and good on them. I'm not a big book reader. I was as a kid, but you know, with the digital age and movie age, I kind of not a book person. I have good books, don't get me wrong. There's sometimes I'll pick up a book and read. I do have a few good books that I've gotten as gifts that I do enjoy. But I won't have a whole wall full. Movies is my thing, as you can see. So that's I like to have the physical one, even with the streaming stuff. So that's just my thing. But yeah, that's basically the breakdown of real collectors, not so real collectors. I'm a real collector, and I always will be. Okay, so here's the segment of the show that I like to call Just Added. This is the stuff that I've just gotten, whether I got it myself or someone got it for me as a gift, which sometimes is very rare because you would really have to know me to know the movies I like and to know if I have it or not. But most 90% of the time I just get it myself. But this is what I call just added stuff that I've gotten now. Anything that I add to my collection, it doesn't have to be a brand new movie. It can actually be an older title that I've really wanted for a long time. So for this segment, for our premiere episode of Collector's Corner, for my just added section, I want to thank my brother Khalid who hooked me up and got me not one, not two, but the entire franchise of Bill and Ted. As you know, the Keanu Reeves movie from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then there was the second one, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and now the new one, Bill and Ted Face the Music, which I haven't even seen yet. So thumbs up to my brother Kay for doing that for me. I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, this is just added to my movies. I have a lot of franchise movies that's part of my collection. I mean, a lot. I mean, some classic stuff from the Back to the Future stuff, the Lord of the Rings stuff, Indiana Jones stuff, of course, Star Wars stuff. Gotta have that, and the entire MCU line. I have all of that and more. But yeah, he actually got me something that one I wanted, and two I didn't even have before, and he hooked me up. One a rare piece, so I really give him props on that one because you really have to know. And he's a movie guy himself. He went to ASU and studied filmmaking and whatever. So it was amazing that he knew what to get me. And even though he asked if I had it after the fact, it was still cool. I still say his movie ESP worked good, and he got me good. He hooked me up really well. So yeah, I got now I have that entire franchise. I have all the Bill and Ted's Adventures and whatever and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I Now it's been a while since I've seen the first one, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I love that movie, but it's been many years since I've seen it. So this is cool that he got me that, and I can relive that and watch again. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I remember I have to that one I have to watch again because I remember watching it, but it's been years since I've seen it. So that's gonna be fun for me to watch, and then and then Face the Music. By the time I knew these guys were gonna come back so many years later and bring back these characters, which no one thought they would do. Everyone thought Bogus Journey was it. It finalized the story. It was done. So for them to even come back and do this new one, Face the Music, is awesome, and it has a great story. I can't wait to watch it. From when I saw when they first had the teaser trailer and then the full trailer, I was like, yo, this is a little different from their past two, stories. And, the fact that they have like female counterparts that are just like them when they first started, which, if I'm not mistaken, are their daughters. I believe that, hopefully I'm not wrong. Like I said, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I believe it's their daughters that kind of are friends with each other and almost take a kind of a step in their dad's footsteps and what they went through. But it looks cool. It looks really good, and he got me. I have it all on Blu-ray. It's actually the three movie set that you get all three movies. I mean, you can get them individually if you need. Sometimes you may have one movie already, but you just need the other two or the other one, so you can get them separately. But my brother hooked me up with the Blu-ray three movie set. So props to you, bro. I thank you for that again, and I can't wait to watch it. So that's what's just been added to my collection. Okay, this next segment of the show is called Darrkneo's Watch List. Now, this is movies that I've recently watched that I actually don't have in my collection yet. As I said before, we've watched a lot of streaming stuff or whatever. So what I've recently watched is well, I actually watched it when it premiered on HBO Max, the brand new Wonder Woman 84. Awesome movie. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I believe it's only on HBO Max for a limited run. I saw something that it's only going to be streaming until I believe the date is January 24th. So at the time of this, if you're watching this, that date may have not happened yet. Because and for future wise, it's already passed. So too late, you missed it. But for those who have yet to see it, you still have time. It's on HBO Max if you're a subscriber. But man, Wonder Woman 84, it was really good. I've been waiting for this, and it was part of a merger that Warner Brothers and HBO Max did to get these blockbuster movies out. So that was not only for the theaters, but simultaneously or before or after the fact to have it streaming. So pretty much anyone who had HBO Max got to see it first. So like me, if you're HBO Max subscriber, you got to see it first. So this is something that they've been doing, I believe, all year, throughout the year up until this, December of this 2021. So Wonder Woman 84 was the very first blockbuster movie that they launched. As I said, it's really good. I enjoyed it. It's different from the first one, but I like it in a way that it shows Wonder Woman at her weakest point, that even Wonder Woman can be hurt, can be, I don't want to use the word flawed, being, because she's flawless in my opinion. It's Gal Gadot, she's flawless. But it showed that even she can be vulnerable. There's the word. She can even be vulnerable at times. So and I was curious as to see how they would bring back the Captain Steve Trevor character, because I didn't know. I thought they were gonna do like is he like Captain America? Was he on ice all these years or whatever? I didn't know I was gonna do it. For those who haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil how they brought him back. You really have to watch that yourself. But I have to give props to two actors that are in there that did a phenomenal job, and that's Pedro Pascal, who everyone knows as the Mandalorian, as pretty much the somewhat villain in this movie, or he becomes the villain, I should say. I don't want to give it too much away, but man, he did an awesome job. So Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig, who most people remember from her days on Saturday Night Live, and then of course, every other she was in the female version of Ghostbusters and done a ton of movies since then. Bridesmaids, you remember from. But man, did she put a stamp on the villain for Cheetah, who was a major villain for Wonder Woman, had been around for many years in the comics, and this is the first time a live action version had ever been done of her. What I like was not only just her performance, but how they evolved her, how the whole evolution, they literally showed from the origin of how she starts as just a regular normal person and step by step gradually evolves to becoming Cheetah, and how, and the reason why she became it. So and I, of course, I don't want to give anything away. Most of this stuff that I'm talking about you've already seen in the trailers anyway, so it's not like a big spoiler. But the way they put it together was awesome, and even just her fight scenes or whatever, it was pretty on point. So I enjoyed the movie. There was some people I saw it on Facebook that were kind of like saying, it's all right. I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinion. That's the great thing about when you watch movies. You have your own opinion. No two opinions are gonna be right. So, but for me personally, I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. Can't wait to add it to my collection because I already have the first Wonder Woman. So yeah, once that comes out on Blu-ray or whatever, the version that I like, the full version of all the bells and whistles, I will definitely add it to here. So that's what was on Darrkneo's watch list for this week. All right, guys, time to wrap this show up. But before we go, here's some new DVD and Blu-ray release dates that you collectors out there need to know about. Check it out. Okay, guys, so that's it for the end of this episode of Collector's Corner, the premiere episode of Collector's Corner. I want to thank you guys again for joining me on this journey of shows that I'm putting out for you, and especially something like this of a passion. I love movies, so I'm glad you got to be a part of it. Now, before you go, I have to ask you to do one thing, and you know what that is. Click that subscribe button. Go ahead. It's not going to hurt you. It's good for you. Start the new year fresh. So please click that subscribe button, tell your friends, and join me next time for another exciting episode of Collector's Corner, where we'll be bringing you more movies and more good stuff to talk about. So once again, your boy Darrkneo signing out. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great 2021. See you later.